Hello, gorgeous humans. Alina Grayson coming to you live for day one of the Calling Masterclass. When you are hopping on live, say hello, hashtag replay. We're going to be watching this on replay. And if this is your very first time catching me live or your very first masterclass with me, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. I want to get to know you. I want to welcome you to my world. And of course, if you know me, say hello. I am beyond excited about this masterclass. I actually got really emotional before, but I also got my period yesterday on the red moon. And there's just been so much coming through. And the kind of conversations we're about to have in this masterclass are so powerful, so deeply changing, so profound. They've changed my life, and I am not holding back. And I actually wrote something that I want to write, like that I want to read to you guys. I'm already getting really excited. Hello, Diane. I'm so happy you're here. I'm just gonna make sure that we are in the right place here. So this is day one. And tomorrow we are going to have day two in my high performance coaching community. And if you have to off at any point, we will have this masterclass replay on our YouTube channel, and it will also be in the guide section of my high performance coaching community. That's what day two will be. Okay, so let me see if I can see comments here. Oh, yes, I can see them. Hello, Rebecca. Hello, Ashley. Hello, Melina. Hello, Diane. I'm so happy you're here. So before I get started, I want to read something because this came through and I got all emotional about it because I'm like, this is like so dear to my heart. And I want to know if you feel this. Trailblazers. Trailblazers show us new possibilities. Trailblazers show us the impossible. Trailblazers climb mountains with no peaks. Trailblazers go first. They make the first ascent with all its inherent risk and uncharted territories. They walk with fear and the deepest of breaths. Trailblazers draw better maps. They blaze new paths for the next generation. Trailblazers create better maps. It's a complete waste of time to tell a trailblazer, a visionary, a pioneer, a dreamer, a creator, an artist that we're going the wrong way. We know that's the whole point. We came to blaze a new path. We didn't come here to conform to this madness of this matrix that we are in right now. We came to create new paradigms and break down old belief systems that keep people asleep to their magic. And I want to remind you during this masterclass that if you felt pulled to this, you know that this is one life that your soul came to live, and you came here to play to win and play full out. And you know, no soul came here to earth to play it safe. None of us are getting out of this life alive. If we don't risk it all to follow our passions and our callings to the edge of this earth, all we have is disappointment at the end. And then we just arrive at death safely. So be brave. So I am really excited for this masterclass. These topics are big. We're going to have some beautiful conversations for the next 2 days together. Hello, Katia. Hello, Tammy. Hello, Jackie. Hello, Vanessa. I am so excited you guys are here. And if you feel like someone needs to be here to listen to this, tag them, share this video. There will be a draw. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So, for me, the kind of conversations, the teachings that we're going to have today, hello, Tammy, I'm so happy you're here, that I'm going to deliver and speak to you about are, in my opinion, the most important pillars of success, happiness, long-term evolution in all areas of life, in business and relationships. And if you were pulled to this masterclass, there is something inside of you that knows you did not come here to just live a mediocre life. You often maybe already felt misunderstood in life. You didn't really follow the status quo. And you know there's a calling in your soul that you're meant for more. And maybe you have a big calling that you're like, I'm meant to make impact on the world. I don't know how, but I feel it in my soul. And for some of you, you know you have a calling to make an impact on the world because you've had pain in your life. And now you're changing that pain into purpose and you desire to guide and mentor people. Some of you are also pulled to this masterclass because my mission in life is to move people to change. That's what my mission is. And that's my whole goal of this masterclass is that you start making moves in your life. And maybe you found yourself in a place where you're not satisfied in life and you're bitter, you're angry, you're depressed. Maybe you are creating your own drama, you're numbing out, you feel stuck, you feel meh, bored, and you're ready for a shift. And I often say, whenever we have some sort of pain or dissatisfaction in our life and we feel stuck, negative emotions, quote unquote, are a call to action. It's just like when you have a headache, it's a call to action. Go drink more water, take a nap, go have a poop, get some fresh air. Okay. If you're dissatisfied in your life and you're feeling stuck, it's time to move. And this master class is going to help you build your personal power, your emotional intelligence. We're going to work on your intuition and we're going to grow your capacity. And we're going to talk about emotional intelligence, like the greatest topics on the planet. Hello, Lindsay. Hello, Katya. Changing my mess into a message. Yes. Oh my gosh. And Katya's in my sales mastermind. And yesterday, I had to make a post about this at some point because it was like the most amazing mastermind call. Like one woman, a trailblazer, a five live. She's in the bathtub, and Katya's at the park with her kids. Then we have another lady, I think Cynthia, that's on here. She's on our motorcycle, and we're having the most epic conversations about like basically what we're going to talk about today. We often retract who we are, and you're really going to understand that in this masterclass. And I really believe all great stories and even stories of transformation. So this masterclass is also for people who are like, I don't want to really change the world, but I really want to change my life. So if we think about any great story, a movie, a book, all stories start with a great transformation and they start with a dissatisfaction. There's a pain and there's a call to action to change things. And we really are the hero of our life and we really are also the villain of our life. And so if you also have had pain in your life and you have a calling to really guide, trailblaze, and set people free because you set yourself free, this masterclass is going to be out of this world amazing. And I hope I set your soul ablaze and then you remember why you were born, because you were born for this. Hello, Michelle, changing my message into message. No matter what you're trying to create in your life, I guarantee even everybody that's here, you have a big dream. And what is required from us when we have big dreams and we have no evidence of, is this possible for me, is that we have to manifest our becoming. And I'm going to talk to you guys what it actually means to be an energetic match to the kind of dreams that you have. And you'll see that all of it is going to boil down to your leadership. Everybody has big dreams. Everybody has big dreams for themselves, for their families. Some people have massive dreams. They're like, I want to create legacy. I want to change the world. But very few people on the planet make their dreams a reality in their lifetime because the difference between people who actually go do the things that they were called to do is their leadership. And we're not taught leadership. We're not taught personal power or emotional intelligence or following our intuition. These are the things that they want you to be asleep. This is the stuff they don't teach you in school. And then you found me, and I'm going to teach you all the important things they forgot to teach you in school just so that you could stay asleep to your own magic. So we do not manifest what we want. We manifest who we are. This was a really important quote by, I think it was Dr. Wayne Dyer. And a lot of people don't understand this. And this is really about being an energetic match to the things that we want and going on a journey and cultivating our gifts so that we're a match to the dreams that we have. But we don't just manifest what we want, we manifest who we are. Changing your life, making an impact in people's lives, in your family, impacting the world is going to be a reflection of your self leadership. During this masterclass, I'm also going to talk to you about a couple offers. There's a Coach Academy Mastermind running for 2 months from July and August. You also get the Coach Academy program and a new leadership intensive that is starting next week. And so this is going to be a cool Coach Academy Mastermind because there's Telegram days, there's Zoom calls. You're going to get a bunch of bonuses. It's going to be out of this world amazing. And I have this brand new intensive master course, Leading Yourself First. This is what it's called. You're going to see me launch the graphic and all the branding soon. And it begins next week. And if you're in the Coach Mastermind, you're going to have this as a bonus. And this is going to be one of those intensive that's really for anyone who's like, I need to change my life. I want to impact my family. I want to change my point of attraction in the universe. Everything comes down to our leadership. It is the core pillar of long-term success, transformation, and impacting people. And then the great thing about this is I always do tuition, prizes, and so there's awesome things that you can win from sharing this exact video. or tagging the graphic or taking a screenshot of me and tagging me anywhere on social media, you can win some free spots to the Leading Yourself First intensive that starts next week. You can also win 80% off, 50% off, and one person's going to win a whole year in my We Go First membership. And it's out of this world because there's new things coming and they're going to be out of this world amazing. So this is what we get to do. And I think I'm going to be doing the draw on Monday. So I'll have the weekend to share and tag. Hello, Daria. Hey, man, I'm so happy that you're here. Daria is giving me champagne bottles. I'm so, so happy. This is going to be awesome. And it's only going to get better. You know how marketers are like, give them the best, sell to them right away and give them all you got. I don't really, my fickle people aren't my dream buyers. It's like it gets better, but this is going to be deep because we're going to do identity work today. And that's a really big piece of being a leader and growing your personal power is shifting your life. So, what I want to start with is I want you to imagine like life is like a game. And every human on the planet, we came here to create the desires that we had. We have a purpose. We came here to create, like God intended us to create, with our mind, our imagination, our heart, our spirit. And we were all created equally, but different. And you're going to realize at the end of this call, there are special gifts you have, and I'm going to help you uncover them. But we were all created equal, but different. There are different gifts, different purposes, different kind of things that we're supposed to do. Hello, Elizabeth. I'm so happy you're. Hello, Curly. I'm so happy you're here. Yay. Yes, yes, yes. So there will be replays. You're all good. If you have to hop off, it's okay. I'm gonna just really land a really powerful transmission for you guys. Like I don't do half-ass master classes. So this is gonna be like a course. This is like a pre-work to the Leading Yourself master course that's starting next week. So, if life is like this game and we came here as players to play to win and create the things that we wanted to create, that's what our soul wanted to do. I really realized though, because we are kind of in this matrix that keeps people asleep, and you guys already know this if you are in this world with me, being very spiritual and seeing and waking up to like what's going on in the world. But there are three types of players in the game of life. There are people really that instead of using their imagination to create themselves, they use their imagination to destroy themselves and they numb out on life. They escape, and I call these are like the non-playing characters like you see in a video game, NPCs, right? They're just everything they do is to numb out and escape. Life happens to them, not for them. They have no personal power and they're just kind of in the background. They don't even participate. They do like the bare minimum in life, and they're not a hero or a villain in anyone's story because they just watch and they believe that life happens to them, NPCs of life. And then there are active players. They dream, they play, they go for things, but there's two types. There's one that they don't really play to win. They kind of play not to lose. They're willing to take some risk, but they never go all in. They're the like I dip my toe in a little bit. I play not to lose. So I only take risks and go after things if it's safe and if it's comfortable and there's not a lot of risk. And they make very small investments and they dip their toes, but they don't play to win. They play not to lose. And then there's the trailblazers, the visionaries, the dreamers, the brave ones. They are the players who play to win and they go all in on their dreams. They follow their intuition when it makes no sense, when everyone thinks they're crazy. They go at it with all their heart. They have big dreams. They want to make impact. They want to leave legacies in their families, in the world. They're the heroes. They're the trailblazers, the brave ones, the mavericks, the leaders, the risk takers, the entrepreneurs, the visionaries. They don't dip their toes in things. When they get the intuition, they get the ping, they take risks, and they start blazing a new path. And a lot of these people, and if you're really attracted to me, you have a calling, there's a mission, and you're so willing to take risks, to go to the edge, to really find out what the heck am I capable of in this lifetime and what kind of massive impact am I meant to make. Hello, Diana. Great live stream. Great wisdom, Alina. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Cooling my champagne. Yes, yes, yes. So then there's other people who just kind of watch and they dip their toes and they're semi-participating in the game of life. But they often judge the trailblazers. They're like, why is it so easy for her? It's not easy. We're just brave and willing to go all in. And we play to win. And I really do believe God, universe, Mother Nature, it doesn't, we don't get rewarded for just participating in life. Like being alive is your participation prize. But if you want big things, massive success, impact, whether it's just in your family, you want to be the one who breaks generational paradigms in your family. You want the greatest love, passion, influence, wealth. You got to play to win, but not just play to win for yourself. This is what's going to be really important about this masterclass is the understanding that the people who have everything and create the most amount of impact and have wild blowing success understand that they don't just play to win for themselves, they play a collaborative game. When I win, you win, we win. When I rise, you rise, we rise. Together we rise, together we go further. The more you play in this game of life as I play to win and I play a collaborative game, I help me and I help you, and together we do this together. We walk up the mountain, the further you'll go in life. The reason leaders, visionaries, coaches, mentors, guides, the reason the coaching industry is $1 billion industry and growing, 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 the reason that leaders are the ones that get paid the most and have the most success is because they dedicate their life to playing to win a collaborative game, meaning they help other people also get what they want. Becoming the one, play a collaborative game. Yes, yes, yes. Big money, power, wealth, influence, legacy is the product, is the byproduct of the impact that you also make on other people by going first and showing people what's possible. You know the quote, and this is what I've lived by forever because I am a coach and a mentor, but I have lived by this quote and I understand this on such a deep level. The Zig Ziglar quote that says you can have anything in life if you just help enough people get what they want. And I really believe that. If you want massive success, you want wealth that makes no sense, you want a legacy, you want power, you want opportunities that make no sense. You're like, how did I manifest this? The power of serving, the power of playing a collaborative game, helping you, but helping people is the greatest way to live life. And it's for me, like being a coach, like a mentor, it's the greatest profession on the planet. The more I work on becoming better at who I am, becoming the greatest version of myself, I help other people become the greatest version of themselves, and the compensation is limitless. And I help myself and I help you, and it's amazing. So in the game of life, the way we want to play, truly, if you are one of those people who has big, big dreams, I want to make wealth, I want to like impact, it's like you got to play to win, you got to play collaborative game. And whether you're new or not, I'm going to share a piece of my story because I'm going to build a big context before we go into a bunch of trainings because we're going to talk about a lot of important things here. Autumn, Grames, everything we talk about. Yes. Help enough people get what they want. Yes. Authentic power, Lindsay. Yes. Yes. So I want to help you really understand who I am because I know there are new people in my world and sometimes it's easy to like see me now, who I am, and I'm well spoken and I have an audience now and I have branding and I have all the things, but I didn't have any of that. I started with a PayPal link and selfies and broke and in massive debt and heartbroken in a low income apartment. That's how I started. And now I'm here because I had a calling. So I actually did not, and you can let me know in the comments. I didn't get into personal development to be a coach. That's not what I set out to be or to be an entrepreneur. I got into this work because I found myself in the lowest of lows in my life. I completely lost who I was. I just had my second baby. I 100% had postpartum depression. My kids did not sleep for like 4 years, 2 hour, 3 hour intervals. So like I lost myself, depression, anxiety. My relationship was falling apart. I made some bad investments that went wrong. I lost a lot of money. I got myself into debt of like 82K something of debt. I was having panic attacks. My relationship, everything, I had no support. I'm like a first generation immigrant, so I don't have much family. My father, everything, my father passed. I was so lost. My relationship with my partner at the time was so toxic, and I knew because I didn't listen to my intuition. Like we all know, when we end up with people, it's like you knew at the beginning, but you didn't listen to the red flags. And then, but I am grateful for my ex, and I am grateful because he was the one that told me to go watch the movie The Secret when I was not feeling good. And that's kind of what then I found Abraham Hicks and Joseph Campbell, the subconscious mind work. And that's where I started. It was like, and Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins, Abraham Hicks, Joseph Campbell's like the subconscious mind and The Secret. And I started to learn about manifestation, right? And personal power. Let me know if like you got excited. Hello, Megan. I'm just so happy you're here. Let me know when you how you guys landed in personal development. I'll read your stories after. is the real deal. Oh, I love you. I'm so happy. So I learned about manifestation. I was like 33 years old. And this is so funny because I'm into human design. Let me know if you're in human design. Let me know your profile. But I'm a 6'2". And so the sixth line around 30, 33, everything just shifts. You go on the roof and everything's like, who am I? And of course, everything fell apart. Plus, my whole life was bumping into things, trial and error, right? So I didn't even know about manifestation, but it's funny when everything started falling apart. I was going on the roof and then I learned personal power and emotional intelligence and the power of your subconscious mind. And it blew my freaking mind. And I started to apply gratitude and I started changing the way that I was reacting to things and how I looked at the world. And the most important part of this is that I really stopped blaming people, stopped blaming and feeling bad about myself and saying, is this person's fault that they made me invest in this or my ex? I stopped blaming people and I really took ownership of my life and radical responsibility that the truth is we do create our life. I am the one and you are the one. You are the hero and you're your greatest villain and monster. And so, one of the most important things that we have to recognize when we want to change things in our life is that you got to say to yourself and look yourself in the mirror like, I am the one. I am the hero. I'm also the villain. And if I break things, I can also fix things. And you got to claim this that I am the hero of my life and I am the one. Because what I had to do is also be really brave when I took radical responsibility for the mess that I created. I love how you do unconventional things. I do it too. I love tuning to your energy. I love you, Megan. She's a manifester too. Really enjoying your live stream. At 70, hearing your story so reminds me of my journey. Everything you say is correct. Thank you for doing what you do. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh my gosh. And the best is yet to come. This is what I realized. The older I get, I'm turning 40 on Christmas this year. And I was like, Adam, I feel sexier, wiser, healthier, more empowered than ever in my life. I feel healthier and sexier than I did in my 20s. And I'm like, the best has yet to come. And that is an exciting thing. And I want to help you build this too in your life. So you got to claim that you are the hero and you're the one for your life. And you got to claim this and take complete radical responsibility and be really brave because I had to go and forgive. I had to be the one that found the strength and courage to start over. I had to rewire my mind. I had to like let go of things and people and change my reactions and find gratitude for my life. And the more I did that, the more I started creating opportunities for myself. Things started changing. I started feeling good. I'm the one. I'm the one. And you're the one for your life. I am the one. Hello, Rebecca. If you break it, you can fix it. And so this is a scary thing to sometimes realize for us. And people don't want to take radical responsibility for life because they want to blame their family for their whole life. And I'm going to tell you my story. I did not have an easy childhood. And I'm going to help you do some identity work and we're going to rewire some things today. But I am the one. And this is a hard thing, a scary thing to realize, but I am the one is one of the most liberating things and most empowering moment of your life when you realize that. Because if you're the one that broke it, you're the one that can also fix it. And that is a very empowering thing. And this is so important because no one is going to create your life. And you can blame your parents and your childhood and all the things for the rest of your life, but that's not going to take away the pain. You got to be your hero now. And you're going to realize every hard thing you went through, it forged you and it helped you find your gifts. Yay, I'm about 5'1". I feel better than I ever have. 51, I feel better than I ever have. I love hearing from this other one. Yes, me too. I am the one, Jackie. Right? So everything changed when I'm like, I am the one. The day I claimed this, and I remember this vividly because I also made the decision. I'm like, I'm leaving my partner. And this was so scary because I'm alone. Like I don't have much family. I don't have much friends at the time. My father just passed. I'm a first generation immigrant, so there's not much family as it is. There's not much support. And I was in A2K of debt and I didn't have a job at the time because I was staying home with my little ones. And like I was like, I have to do this. Like I have to leave and I'm gonna put myself first because there was a calling. And my intuition said, like, just like all you guys who ended up in personal development, there was a pain, but there was also this feeling of like, I'm meant for more. And I trusted it. And I felt so strong because I claimed I'm the hero. Like, if I created this mess, I'm going to get myself out of this mess. And at that time, I had already started working on my personal power and emotional intelligence and my mindset. And I just kept saying, I'll figure it out because I always do. I'm the one, I'll figure it out. And I said to myself too, and if you're a coach and a mentor and you have one of those callings for wanting to help people, Did you ever have this feeling of like, what if one day I'm the kind of person that writes books and changes people's lives with my story? Or what if I'm one of those people who's up on stage speaking to people and changing their lives? That was like, whew, like that was an awesome feeling. So I made the decision and I said to myself, I'm going to live my life going forward, this reality is going to be inevitable for me. I'm going to be a person who's going to change people's lives with my story, and I'm going to go first. And I'm going to do everything from rock bottom so that I can teach people how to climb out of their rock bottoms and how to find out what they're meant to do in this world, because I actually really do help people find their purpose. And this is going to be really cool training because you're going to realize you have gifts. You are different for a reason, but there are gifts you have, and we're going to start opening those up for you. So I decided that my life was going to be meaningful, and going forward, it was inevitable that I was going to be successful and I was going to be a person that was going to change people's lives with my stories. That was going to be my mission. I didn't know how yet, okay? And so it's funny because I was like, I wanted to help people. I actually have a psych degree. And I thought about maybe I'll go back to school, get my master's, get my PhD. And in that day, before I started applying for school, I saw a girl from my high school promoting life coaching online. And I was like, it was 2019. And I was like, what the heck is life coaching online? And then I found the coaching industry and I was like, oh my God, it was a full-blown say, girl, I am doing this. And I literally that day wrote a post and started talking about the things that changed my life. And I started to play to win, and I started playing a collaborative game, like really storytelling. I used my social media to share things about the subconscious mind, how to rewire it, how did you create your beliefs, inner child stuff, manifestation, gratitude. And wasn't selling results. I wasn't like, I'm going to help you find your dream partner and make money. It was nothing like that. I was just like, I'm going to help you get unstuck. I'm going to help you feel more empowered in your life. I'm going to help you rewire things so you start manifesting good things. I'm going to help you change the way you see. I'm going to help you fall in love with your life. That's what I started talking about. And then I didn't know how to do lives. Okay, first of all, I literally used to skip presentations at school because I was like, I cannot speak in front of people. I'm gonna die. I would lose like 30% on projects. And I was like, I have this calling. I want to speak on stage one day. I want to write books and I want to help people. Like, I better start going live. And so I started going live for 2, 3 minutes, shaking in my space boots, going red like a lobster, like sweating, and I could not talk the way I could talk. But this is 6 years in the making, 6.5 years, going live a lot. I practiced every day, and I did a 30-day live challenge. That was the hardest thing ever, but it taught me staying power, and we can figure it out. And then even though I had debt, I still had some credit stuff, right? I had some money on my credit and had a little bit of savings that I didn't want to put towards my debt. But then I got my first client just from sharing a post about my story. And she signed up with me for almost a year, which is so wild. She's still in my world, and it's so cool to see that. And it's funny because she was in a rock bottom. Now she's happily married, love of her life, living her dream life. Like this is possible for all of us. So $111 is all I charged. It was 888 for 8 sessions a month. And then that day I also got it was my intuition's like, this is the day you tell him and you move out. And I did. And I left him and I left everything. Even though we bought the house together, I left everything and I got a low income apartment, and like furnished bare minimum. Like my Athena still remembers this, like just a couch, a TV, and some beds. Like we didn't have a table to eat on. Like I didn't share parts of this stuff, but that's how it was. I still have some videos. Maybe one day I'll share it, but it was like, And then I went and was crazy enough to still, I don't even know how I was approved, but I got $10,000 line of credit on top of all the debt I had, and I got approved, and I hired my first one-on-one coach. Wasn't the coach I needed, but it taught me a lot. And I just went all in and I played full out because there was this calling. There was a calling. I'm planning to do a 30-day live challenge. Do it. Do it. It's amazing. And it shows trust, intention. It's been worth and making a moment of gratitude for calling we have. Yes. This calling doesn't leave me. I wake up with this mission every single day. And every single investment I made, I attracted another client because we do go first. Sorry to say this, and people don't want to hear this, but it's like, I'm going to invest in my first coach when people invest in me. It's like, no, you go first. You're the leader, you're the trailblazers. We always go first. We make the first ascent. So each client that I came in had great shifts, and my business really did start with referrals. Like I didn't have actually a big following either. People started referring me people. I didn't grow my coaching business because this is a lot of things I hear. Oh, you got to start with money. You got to sell blah, 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 relationships. Like that's not at all what I sold. I talked about like, let's find happiness again. Let's fall in love with ourselves again. Let's find our personal power again. Let's find a purpose. I didn't lead with money. But people say like, oh, you only got to sell money courses to be a high-paying coach. It's like, no, my highest grossing program still to date is my Goddess Code one. And like my emotional intelligence programs, my leadership ones, my personal power, because money, by the way, is the byproduct of who you become. And you need leadership, personal power, emotional intelligence, capacity, all the things we're going to cover in this. That's the byproduct of money. So what changed my clients was that they started to fall in love with their life. We talked about gratitude, personal power. They started changing their reactions. Like just instead of losing their shit or putting their head in the sand or walking away with the silent treatment, if you've been in Goddess Code, we talk about all the different trauma responses. Just making little shifts started changing their day. And they started changing their day. And they started seeing things differently. And they started attracting things differently. And then I made six figures with like 18 months into my business, no website. I still don't really have a website. I do landing pages to appease my one lines. You know. So I made six figures with no website, no email list, no sales ad, never once have I ever messaged a person and cold DM them or added people and said, you should buy this. I've never even chased someone who wanted a link. Are you ready to buy? None of that. I really trust in people's power. So I never chased anybody. I made six figures with a PayPal me link and my social media. And I didn't have great branding or any things that I have. I trailed my own path. And I hired my first coach that was like, oh, you need to have 1,000 people on your email list and you need to blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I'm a trailblazer. I don't like this. It's no feel good for me. I'm going to do it this way. And I did it that way. I obviously have evolved, but I still don't even have a website because to be honest, if you're new to my world, if you ever think I'm the right person to work with, this is your sample. This is where you're going to get to touch some of my magic right here in this masterclass. I do masterclasses as well as I do my programs. They're just deeper and more, obviously, there's more time with me. You get to have masterminds with me. We go deeper, but my masterclasses are a piece of my magic. You're going to taste my magic. And if you feel called to me, you're going to know if I'm the right mentor for you. But no sales page is going to explain that to you because you got to really feel my magic to know if I'm the right person for you. Brooke, thank you. I need this more than you know. Oh, I'm so happy. This is going to be awesome, guys. Like it's going to get better. We're going to get into leadership, capacity, all the things, your hurdles, your challenges, identity work. It's just going to get better. So I trailblaze my own path. And you get to do that too. We really get to create a life and a business in our own way, on our own terms, doing it our way. Because also, for some of you who are entrepreneurs, I find this really interesting that people end up in as an entrepreneur now they hate the things they do to make money. And the whole point of us becoming an entrepreneur is not to do things that we hate for money. You really get to do it on your own terms in the way that you love. You do. And so really, I also believe if you are someone that's a coach, a mentor, a guide, this is your calling, an artist, like there is no strategies of getting people. You got to work on your magic and your proof of concept and really put out energetically powerful things and it will attract the people into your world because people came in my world and I don't even know how I met any of you. Cynthia, you're full of magic. Cynthia's full of magic. She's a manifestor 5 she's on a motorcycle. We're having a deep conversation about identity work. Like, this is normal. This is what we do. And then we have like Ella in the bathtub, like, and Katya was with her kid at the park. Like, we get to have businesses and raise kids and ride motorcycles while we're having coaching calls. Like, this exists. We get to, anything you can imagine exists. And we're going to be the trailblazers to show the new generation. You don't got to do the 9 to 5. You don't got to go to school. You can do it this way. So we go first. So as coaches and mentors, though, like and artists, for those of you who are activators, speakers, like don't worry so much about how to get people and the strategies. Work on your magic. Be the proof of concept. Care about people. Care about people. Make impact on people's lives, and people will refer you and send people to you like wildfire, like they did with me. And because you play to win in a collaborative game, and you're actually helping people get what they want while you get what you want, the universe will reward you. Because I really do believe, I'm very spiritual, also religious, all the things, but God provides for people who really do God's work. When you play to win at life and you use your imagination to create and you play a collaborative game, it's like the sky's not even the limit. You can go so far in life and you'll be so happy in life. Your magic on legs, you wear leather jackets. Yes, I do. Work on magic. Be the proof of concept, right? So whatever you helped you, you teach people that. Be the proof of concept. There's not enough strategies of you getting people. And it's not about strategies, but who you're being. And you're going to really understand at the end of this masterclass. And playing a collaborative game, why is this important? Because the whole world is built on relationships. And the energetic currency of business is relationship. So if you live a life or you have a business where it's all about me, 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 me win, and not about people, and then there's an us, it will break down. There is no I in team. If your dreams are all about the ego, it won't take you far. And you won't be able to keep it, and you'll end up being really burnt out. Every decision I make is not just good for me, I know it's going to be good for you. This is why the coaching industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it is rapidly growing because there is, honestly, there will never be enough coaches, leaders, guides, and leaders. If you think that it is saturated, you're just in your own algorithm. It's not. More than ever in the world that we're in right now, we need guides, we need leaders, we need spiritual healers, we need the trailblazers more than ever. So if this is your calling, you're in the right place. And I hope that you come in Coach Academy so we can build the best coaching business and you be the best leader of your time. More than ever, this is the time. The time is now. And this is where you're also learning Coach Academy. I'll teach you everything. How to, if some of you might be just a skills coach. You might be here just to teach skills. Some of you are a guide. You are intuitive. You can read people. And I'll teach you marketing, sales. Maybe you're an accountability coach. But the truth is there's different pillars and you'll learn that in Coach Academy, but you don't have to just be an intuitive person. You can be a skills coach, which is kind of like if you were teaching people how to do hair, that's skills, right? There's accountability coaching. There's different kinds. You can be hybrids. I'll teach you one-on-ones. I'll teach you how to create programs. And we'll spend 2 months in Telegram and mastermind calls. It's going to be out of this world amazing. And you'll get the leadership program that's going to start next week because you can never lead a person unless you can lead yourself. This is the number one thing with being a coach, a mentor, a leader, a trailblazer. If you want people to follow you, you got to be self-led. So here's the most amazing thing about having a coach mentor identity. Whether you want to be a coach or not, this little concept I'm going to teach you right now, this is a code. If you live by this code, your life will change. Even if you never want to help anybody, this will change your own life. So as a coach and a mentor, this identity is one of the greatest identities you can have because when you put on this identity as I'm a mentor, I'm a coach, I'm a role model, people look up to me. How do you actually respond to people and things and triggers very, very differently? Most people, their biggest issue in life is just the way they respond. It's not life, it's the way that you respond to life. And they lose themselves and their triggers and they get angry and they say things and they self-sabotage and they numb out. They give into immediate gratification. They say things they regret. Most of the people's issues is not about how life is, it's the way that we respond to life. And so whether you want to be a coach or not, this code, this identity is so powerful. Try this on. If you have a family and you have kids, try this on. You put on the coach mentor hat and you say to yourself, I'm a coach, I'm a mentor. People look up to me. Let's say your partner's upset and he's starting to irritate you. But then you remember, I'm a coach and a mentor. So how do I want to respond? Definitely not going to snap, walk away, and be sassy. I'm a coach, I'm a mentor. How do I want to respond to this person that I love? And then this is the greatest part of this being coach identity. I talk about this in Coach Academy. What if you took it even a step further? You put on the coach mentor identity and you looked at yourself like people look up to me. How do I want to respond here? Which is you're gonna start changing your responses, but also add in who is like, and so think about who is a person that you respect the most, that you would never want them to see you like do something that you'd be ashamed of, like, you're a Disney princess kicking a puppy. Like you'd never want someone to see that. Like imagine the person you respect the most, a fly on the wall. How do you respond? And this could be God for you. If God's a fly on the wall, how do I respond? Let's say your kids are losing it and you're getting irritated, but you say, I'm a coach and my best client is a fly on the wall. How do I respond to my kids? Someone's misbehaving online, saying things, projecting onto you, saying things that are like, ugh, and you want to respond, but then you're like, I'm a coach and a mentor, and God's a fly on the wall. My kid's a fly on the wall. My best client's on the wall. How do I respond? Do you realize how much your life would change? This is how my life started changing. Why I created Goddess Code, why it's such an important, it's going to be in September if you ever want to do a round with me. But it's such an important program because just changing the way you respond to things changes your point of attraction in the universe. And it changes you because you start to be a leader and people start looking up to you, and then you start getting called out for your mission. Having Telegram mastermind calls is worth the weight in gold. It is. And the Coach Academy mastermind, it comes with the program, comes with the leadership intensive. It's $2,222, but you spend 2 months with me. We have Telegram days where you get to riff and ask me questions all day long with other clients listening. And we have Zoom calls. And there's going to be other awesome things that I'm going to be launching in the summer. It's out of this world amazing. And it's on pre-sale. So if you're interested in that, message. And Cynthia knows because like we talk about anything, anything. But I want to help you build the best coaching business that's on your terms, that feels so good, and that you make impact. Because I'm not really interested in making people just coaches. This has to be like a vocation. Like you actually care about people and yourself. Okay. So that's really important. So coming back to this code, again, whether you want to be a coach or mentor or not, you want to start changing how people react to you. You want to start attracting great people, great opportunities. You got to change the way you respond. So when you're triggered about anything, you're like, this is my child and I love it. And I'm a coach and a mentor and God's a fly on the wall. How do I respond? This awareness will change your freaking life. Just this alone it's waiting gold for this masterclass. So every time you put on a coach mentor identity, or you could just take it to this angle where it's like before you do something that you know is the way you always respond, that gives you the same kind of results in your life, it's like God's a fly on the wall. My child is watching me. How do I speak to this person that is projecting on me right now? My partner's doing something, someone's misbehaving, but my best client is a fly on the wall. How do I move? How do I talk? How do I respond? Your life will start to change. For me, it's always God, the universe, and my best clients a fly on the wall. How do I move? How do I respond? If God's watching me, what would I actually say here? This will change your life. This is game changing because it will change the way you respond in your life. And that's how I started changing my life slowly and slowly. And the more powerful you become, so those of you who want to lead people, you want to make impact in the world, like you have to be so powerful that even when people misbehave, you don't take the love and you love them anyways, and you still do what you got to do in your full power. People are attracted to powerful women, not nice girls, not walk all over me, powerful women. Like that woman is powerful. That's what we want. So try this one, especially if you are a coach and leader and a mentor and you're noticing you're attracting things that are not aligned, a lot of triggers. It's like, well, how are you responding? Because you're being tested here. But if God's a fly in the wall, now what? Okay. And then this is going to raise your standards in life. And you know how Tony Robbins says, you want to change your life, change your standards. This code changes your standards in life because it's like you're not going to say and be the way that you've always been because now God's watching you and you know it. You're on the Truman Show. We're watching. How are you going to speak to people? You're going to raise your standard in your communication, how you navigate your emotions, how you talk to people, how you speak, how you walk, how you talk in the world, and this will change your point of attraction. And power attracts power. You want to hold big money, you want to hold big power, you want to attract amazing, incredible humans into your life. It's all reflection of your leadership. And this is a really big key to being the greatest version of yourself. This code alone will change your life because how do you lead yourself at your highest capacity when you're a coach and mentor, people look up to you and your child's a fly on the wall? Now what? And if like your profession is really to be a coach, mentor, and guide, this is how we have to walk in life. When you master how you use your power, God, universe also sends you way more people, more opportunities because you're embodied and you're on the frequency of the truth. This is why people always want strategies. I'm like, it's not about the strategies, about who you are. It's your frequency of truth. Are you embodied? Are you mastered? Have you mastered your own reactions in the world? You know, I've never pushed a sale or pushed or cold DM anybody. I don't play the algorithm game. I'm self-led. I'm embodied in what I teach. I'm on the frequency of truth, and I know God, universe keeps sending me people because I am embodied in what I talk about. I walk my talk. And the money influence that I have now is the byproduct of me being proof of concept. Money and impact and power is the byproduct of the person that you become. When you I didn't focus on being rich. I focused on being great. I focus on being great rather than rich and how to look successful with a Louis Vuitton and blah, blah, blah. I didn't do any of that. Nothing's wrong with that if this is what you celebrate, but I didn't focus on being rich. I focused on being great. Because the more people you impact, the more money comes your way. That is a truth. I worked on my skills. I worked on my gifts. I went live. I practiced how to speak. And so my frequency was on the frequency of truth. My work was undeniable, and people drag people to my master classes and say things like, I always get tagged, like, listen to this woman, listen to Alina. You gotta go listen to her. How does that happen? Because I'm on the frequency of truth. I'm the proof of my concept. I work on my personal power. I work on being the greatest version of myself. Keep manifesting signs and messages. Oh, I'm gonna read these messages after. I love you guys. Hello, Angela. I'm so happy you're here. What I have succeeded on in life and the money I have and the influence I have is the byproduct, honestly, at the core of all long-term success, it's leadership. It's leadership. I went from being super depressed, like 82K of debt or something, and failed relationships, single mom of two, like building a six-figure business with a PayPal link. And it all happened. Like, it's funny because I moved out 4 months into my business. The pandemic hit. Like, okay, great. Thank you for more hurdles. Like, and it's been hurdle after hurdle. And I keep moving through it because when you blaze through the hurdles, God's like, I'll send you more because there's tests. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Hello, Brooke. I'm so happy you're here. And my influence is growing. And now I mentor women now that make $1 million months. Okay. And I have raving testimonials and people referring me because I focus on being a great mentor rather than howtomakemore money.com. Money and influence and attracting power and even love. You want to find the greatest love of your life. It's the byproduct of the person you become. Hello, mama. Mama's always supporting me. I never focused on the money or like, how do I beat the algorithm? I am the algorithm. You're the algorithm. I didn't focus on the money or the visibility. I focused on being great. I focused on leading myself. I focused on my being my personal power, being a role model, how to speak better, a better communicator. I worked on my skills, emotional intelligence, like how to write better, leadership every single day. If you only focus on how do I get more money, how do I get more followers, that's not how you get the followers and the money. It's the byproduct of the person you need to become and the kind of gifts you put into the world. Like, here's the thing with money, guys. Money is a currency attached to a person. You're not even attracting money in your business. You're attracting a person. And the more impact you have on a person, the more money comes. And that impact is based on the impact you make on yourself. And so we're going to overcome some monsters and things that you got very shortly. High standard. Yes, how we respond to our kids is everything. I love the Keishan concept, especially my parent clients, right? If your child is a fly in the wall, right? God's a fly in the wall. Now what? So if you want people to see you and you want people to follow, you want to make impact, you got to focus on being the greatest version of yourself. You got to every single day master a piece of how you respond in the world and work on your craft. And then the money comes and the influence comes. And then you hear people say, I made $10,000 in the bathtub. You didn't make $10,000 in the bathtub. You received it as a byproduct of the frequency that you're on because you're proof of concept. And God's like, you're doing God's work. You're playing to win. You're using your gifts. And you're playing collaborative gift. God pays God provides my paycheck. So most people, here's the thing too. Most people, most parents, they're worried about their kids, right? So they're like, you need to go to school and you need to go and you need to get a 9 to 5 and you need to get a pension because they don't. Here's the thing, when you push this on your kids, unconsciously what you tell your kids is you don't believe in their power. I'm not about like, I'm building this so that my kids are safe. I actually want my kids to go blaze their own trails. Like, I'll give them my wisdom, but it's not like, here's all the money, now figure it. Like, no, that's not how it's going to go. Like, and I'm navigating, figuring out how to do this, but it's going to be like, you got to go blaze. You got to go blaze your own path too, because if you do everything for your kids and you swoop in and save them and you're saving all your money to make them feel safe, well, what are you telling them? Unconsciously, I don't believe in your own power. And actually, a great mentor is not a person who picks up somebody like a mother. You got to actually let people struggle to the top. That's what makes them great. Any great mentor I've learned from leader, they struggled to the top. Even it had mentors. I give you wisdom. I give you all the tools, but you got to struggle up the mountain. No one's pulling you up the mountain. And mentorship is not about being a mom. It's not about mothering. It's about feminine leadership. I'm walking up a mountain with no peak. I'm going to tell you stories and things I've learned to help you. You want to walk together, shoulder to shoulder? Let's go. I'll tell you my cheat codes. That's what I believe in. And that's how I believe my parenting is too, because I want my kids to be their own leaders. not if I do everything for them and set them up. That's not the way. So, most people tell their kids this: go get a degree in something so someone can pay you a nice salary and you stay safe and you have a pension and then you die safely. And the coach, the mentor, the trailblazer, leader, the dreamers, the rebels, the mischiefs, like all of us, the thing to do is become someone everyone pays. If you want to be wealthy and you want to be paid for what you love and make impact, you play a collaborative game and you become the kind of person everyone wants to pay. This is why I created Coach Academy and everything I do and We Go First in my membership. I want women to become the kind of people that anyone will pay them for anything. Because when you are a mentor, a leader, and a coach, you're mastered in leadership. And what's the number one thing that a company pays for? Leadership courses, because it's the pillar of success, long-term success. So when you're a person who is mastered in leadership, mindset, relationship skills, you have emotional intelligence skills, you're great at communication, personal power, you can speak now. Then you've grown a business so you can sell and you know how to use social media and market and all these things. Do you realize you are the greatest asset everywhere you go? You have become a person everyone can pay. Like, I want to be a great asset that everyone can pay. Why would I just sell my work to one company? I want the world to benefit from my magic. So this is what I want to create with you too. When you focus on having skills and working on your personal power, which we all are transferable, which we all can learn at any age, it does not matter. When you become the greatest asset, do you realize what you can bring to the table? You don't just sell yourself to one company for a pension. It's like I can help the world and the sales are limitless. It's like I would never limit myself to work for one company. I can help the world with the skills I have: leadership, communication, manifestation, sales, marketing, you name it. Let's go. Nervous system regulation. I've mastered. It's all I work on is my skills and how to be a great mentor. So when you are the type of person that embodies a mentor identity, a coach, a leader, and you work on your skills in communication, personal power, which we're going to work on those during this masterclass, and you're self-led, and then you also know how to use social media and you know how to market and sell and speak, the sky's not even the limit. You realize what you could do in the world for your family. Like, this is what I'm really interested in. Becoming the kind of woman who can have it all and be the greatest asset everywhere they go. And it stems everything from our leadership. Like, we don't want to just be coaches. We also want to be the greatest version of ourselves for our kids and our family. Like, the goal of personal development is constant developing yourself to become the greatest asset so that everywhere you go, anyone can pay you for anything. You have wisdom upon wisdom and skills upon skills. It's not about how to get rich. I don't help people focus on getting rich. I help people focus on becoming so great, so skilled, so self-led that eventually everywhere they go, people call them out for their gifts and want to pay them for everything. Like, I can't tell you. I was having this conversation with three of the ladies that were on here. They're still on here: Cynthia, Katya, and I think Ella. But we were having this conversation in our mastermind yesterday, and I was saying to them, like, I cannot tell you guys how many rich, way richer, wealthier people have come into my private mentorship, and they did not come to me for a strategy or how do I make more money or how do I get more visible. Do you know what they came to me? They say, I want to feel the way you feel about your life and your business. I want to be madly in love with my life and business. When I listen to you, when I watch you, I want to feel the way you feel every single day. And I want to touch people the way you do. And I want to be lit up by my work. And I want to speak like you do. And I want to serve like you do. Money can't buy that. Visibility can't buy that. I love my life and I love my business and I love my mission and I love what I do and I love this masterclass and I love all of you. Money can't buy that. Money can't buy you passion. And this is also like I'm very unconventional how I grow my business is because I don't just hustle. I've not hustled in my business. Have there been sacrifices? Of course. I had to breastfeed and, in between naps, do coaching calls and stay up some late nights. Yeah, that was at the beginning. There was a little sacrifice there. But I loved every moment of it because I became a better person and I just kept growing and it gets easier. It does because you keep growing and cultivating your skills and you don't give up and you work on it every single day. But I track very wealthy people in my private mentorship that just say, I want to feel the way you feel. Like that's what people are looking for. They want to feel lit up by their passion. And that's why I believe, like, oh my God, when you become a mentor and a coach, it's like, I'm home to these words. Thank you. Oh, I'm so happy. I find that tricky when co-parenting is definitely the 9 to 5 is terrible money issues. Yes, it is hard. But this is why I always say to clients, like, you got to keep working on you. You got to change the paradigm for you. And eventually they're going to want to know what you did. But yeah, it helps when you're working on your money stuff that your partner starts working on their money stuff, but you can't tell them what to do. You got to work on yourself, be the proof of concept of what you're learning. And then they're going to want to learn from you. That's how you do it. So I believe, honestly, everyone on the planet just wants to wake up madly in love with their life, madly in love with the work they do, and they want to live on their own terms and live in an authentic way and be madly in love with their partner and the way that they make money. Like that's what we all want. All of us, we became entrepreneurs because we wanted to be free and we wanted to never, ever, ever, ever make money doing something we hate. How many of you guys are in a business right now where you're doing things you freaking hate? Why? That's not what you came to do. That's the whole opposite of why you became an entrepreneur. Doing things you hate in your business goes against why you want to become an entrepreneur in the first place. You don't have to do it the way people are telling you. Here's a checklist. Get up at 4 a.m., message 20 people, get no's. Who made up this bullshit checklist? Because I don't live by checklists. I go with the flow. And we have different energy types and we have different personalities. But in Coach Academy, I get to show you. You get to build a business exactly the way you are and the way that you want. There's so many business models in coaching. It's amazing. So if you're interested in Coach Academy, like let's play to win. Let's have fun. Let's become the greatest version of ourselves. Let's learn. Let's get paid to learn, become better version of ourselves, and help people make their dreams come true while living life on our terms. Like, let's be the trailblazers, the visionaries, the creators of new paradigms. Let's show our kids new ways of doing life. If you have a calling, now we're going to get into it. I know we're an hour in. This might be 2 hours, but this is going to be worth it. If you have to hop off, it's okay. Catch me on a replay. There'll be YouTube links. So we're gonna start with identity work right now because in your calling, and again, you might not have a calling. You're just like, Alina, I found you. I need you to move me to change. I am unhappy in my life. I'm binging every day, sabotaging myself, and I need to get out of this. So everything at the core, it's so funny. I don't know why I never did an identity work program. I did one last year, Metamorphosis, and it was awesome. But really, that was the core of my work that I started with. And Cynthia was like doing Magnetic Mind, which was like very first program that I ran, and I ran it 3 times. The first one was all about the inner child, all about identity work. I just never really realized that's what it was, right? And now I'm coming back to this because this is where it starts. Emotional intelligence and leadership, we're going to go deep into that in the next call, but we got to start with our identity because your calling, you're wanting to change your life, your mission is going to require you to manifest your becoming. You have to actually become the energetic match to those dreams, especially if you actually are like, no, Alina, I want to be a coach, I want to be a mentor, or you want to impact your own family. You will never ever be able to help a person until you overcome your own villains and monsters. Until you overcome your stuff, you cannot help other people. This is what I mean about being proof of concept and being on the frequency of truth. You don't need to chase people because when you overcome yourself and you just share your truth, the right people are like, yes. And God's like, yes, because she's doing the work because I'm a fly in the wall. Just imagine God. Just imagine you're on the Truman Show. God's watching you. You're bullshitting online and you're not doing the work. You'll not be sent the people. And there's not enough strategies to help you with that. So we're going to do some identity work here. You know, I'm here sitting on the very hee off to instruct the class. I love you. So let's rewrite your story. Let's shift your identity into who you actually need to become to match this dream that you have or the people that you want to change in your lifetime. So this is the thing. A lot of people tell me I can't because of money. I can't because of this. There's a lot of these external circumstances that they tell me why they can't. But really, most of your villains and the monsters in your story as to why you don't do it is you. It's your overthinking. It's your not feeling good enough. It's your lack of emotional intelligence. It's the doubt. It's the procrastination. It's not feeling good enough because it's attached to experiences in your childhood, not feeling smart enough, not feeling blah, 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 all this stuff. And in order for you to do what you came to do on this planet, you're going to have to let go of those stories and rewrite them because they are not serving the identity you need to be to match the dreams you have. And a lot of people will be like, okay, this is easy. I'll let some people go. I'll let it down. And it's like, but they don't really actually get the depth of what I'm saying. And I'm going to go first. I'm going to give you an example of how I did it for me so you do it for yourself. If you do this homework, it will be life changing. Okay? Because a lot of people are like, oh, I'll do this. But then you're going to see why it's not that easy because there's a lot of baggage and there's a lot of things that you don't really want to let go. So part of shifting our identity is to rewrite our story. Okay, because you have stories. I'm not blah blah blah, or because of dot dot dot. I can't do this because these are all your monsters and your villains in your movie, in your game that are holding you back. And so part of me rewriting my story was this. I had to give up the story that it wasn't fair that I was a first generation immigrant in Canada from Poland and my parents worked double jobs and they put a lot of pressure on me to help as a big sister. And I couldn't really be a little kid for too long. And I felt that was unfair. And I had to let that go. I had to let go that I grew up poor. And sometimes it did not feel fair when I started getting older and seeing kids with shiny brand names and all the things that they got to do and go on the vacations. And I didn't think it was fair that I grew up poor and some people grew up rich. I had to let that go. I had to give up on the feeling of I always have to do something for someone or please someone or I won't be loved. I had to let that go. I had to let go of all the stories where I felt like a weirdo and awkward and not cool in school because I didn't speak English until like later in grade one. And then I also realized the reason I was actually really awkward was I'm a hermit. And I was also awkward and tired at school because I often realized I went to school with a really dysregulated nervous system because I did not sleep good as a kid because I was scared a lot. And there's a lot of things attached to that. And I had to let all of that go. Like, it's not my fault that kids thought I was awkward. I was constantly dysregulated and lacking sleep. So I let that go and I rewrote that. I had to let go of being picked on from kids who I realize is how you rewrite it is like they probably didn't have good homes, right? Bullies are people who are bullied at home. Someone took their power, and now they're going to come take your power. So I had to let go of being picked on. I don't know nothing about their life, so I let the bullies go. I had to let go of my lack of financial literacy because no one ever taught me anything about that and getting myself into a lot of debt and overspending and making the wrong investments. But then I rewrote that as it forged me because I also had to let go of all the defense mechanisms where I always just put my head in the sand, oh, just ignore it until it blew up my face, right? I had to let go of all that. I had to let go of the unfairness that nobody taught me, financial literacy. I had to let go of all the exes and the friends and the projections and the expectations of people who made up stuff and try to ruin my reputation. I had to let go of all of that. I had to let go of all the stories that I gave my best years away to people I love that hurt me in the end. But then I realized, and this is where we write the story, it forged me to be stronger and have more personal power. And it led me on this mission. So I let go of all those people and I rewrote that story. I had to let go of the feeling that I wasted a lot of my best years and time when I had the intuition for years. These people aren't right for you. Let them go. And I had to let go of the fact that I wasted a lot of time, that I gave my best years away. I let all that go. And I rewrote that. I had to let go of the people that I thought were my friends who then developed a competition with me and maybe felt inferior when I got successful. And said they vilified me and they said that I changed and because they couldn't handle how they felt around me. I had to let go of family members who got weird with me. I had to let go of people that I knew that got a little weird with me and that I was this and that. I had to let go of projections and people's stories that they created about me because they didn't like the things I talked about on the internet anymore, or the way that I showed myself. I had to let go of all that. I had to let go of the people who believed the lies from the people who made up the lies. I had to let go of all that. And then I realized all of this stuff forged me to be stronger. And here's the thing, until you are willing to let go of everything, did your parents abuse you, whatever it was not unfair that you were the one that had to raise your kid, that had to raise your little siblings. Like, you have to let go of all that, the unfairness. Because if I didn't, do you realize how much density in my body there would still be? Do you know how heavy shame, guilt, anger, resentment takes in your body? Do you know how much it weighs you down? How can you go up the mountain when you're heavy? And there's so much density in our bodies if we don't let all that go and actually rewrite it to see it forged me to be who I am. And it led me here on this masterclass with this lady, Alina. And then I went on a new path. It all forged us. So you let go because it's dense in your body. If I didn't let go of that stuff, my body would be dense, I'd be heavy, and my heart would be closed. And I wouldn't trust people. And I would not be open to anybody coming into my world if I did not let go of all that. It'd be so hard for me to love people and clients, even when they misbehave or people say things on the internet that are not true. If I did not let go of all that and rewrite it, that it forged me, I don't even know if I met Adam, and I think it would be hard for me to open my heart. I don't think I would love the world like I do. And it would be hard for me to trust people and even God because everything felt so unfair. Why was everything so hard, you know? And then when I found out I was a six line, why is my 30 years of always bumping into everything? People give me a, do this, Alina. It will work. It worked for me. It did not work for me. It always went they always turn into a fire, you know, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. So I had to let go of all that stuff. And so do you. Because here's the other thing. We let go of the heavy stuff, but then rewrite the story to look at it. It wasn't unfair. Actually, it forged me because I have realized this. Leaders, like people who paved the way, strong people, like leaders, trailblazers, visionaries, the dreamers, like we had to be forged. I don't think we just chose to be a leader. We were forged in the fire. And if we keep these stories, we stay small, we close our heart, we don't trust people, we don't allow God to come in and provide anymore. We get mad at God a lot and the universe. But the truth is, you were born to lead and you had to be forged. And so if your childhood and upbringing was hard and there was a lot of unfairness, you had to be forged so that you could be a strong bridge for people to cross across, to cross across. And if we don't let go of the painful stories from our past, we don't let them go because they didn't happen. We let them go because they have to stop defining who we get to become and what comes next for us. That's why we put them down. And we get to rewrite them to see that actually it all forged us. These painful things, the things that were unfair, they gave me resilience. They gave me compassion, empathy, courage. They led me on a path of self-development, which helped me find my calling and my gifts and my purpose. It gave me an intuitive, they also taught me like intuitive knowing about people. Stop not listening to the green light and what's the red flags. They taught me to trust people. And all of that stuff, it gave me evidence that I can survive hard things just like you can. We can survive hard things. Nothing happens to us. Everything happens for us to shape us because we have a purpose and we have a calling and we have to be forged into the leaders, the guides, the trailblazers that we're meant to be. And these skills, compassion, courage, resilience, intuitive knowing about people, we had to go through all that so that we could become great leaders and mentors and trailblazers. And here's the other thing that's interesting about the hard stuff in our upbringing. The stuff that we really, really, really struggled with that made us feel different, that we did not feel like we belong, or did you ever have a feeling like there's something wrong with me? Like I just don't learn the same way. I'm different. The stuff that we had difficulty with in the system, in the education system, in the world, it actually also gave us this calling to go figure out what's wrong with us, but then it helped us figure out the gifts that we have and how to do something different. Because when mainstream's like, do this and it should work for you, but it doesn't because you're different, it's like, I have to go find a new way of doing it. That's why trailblazers blaze new paths. We create better maps. And so a lot of us, when we're different in school and in our childhood or our teenage years, that actually also led us to a calling to go into self-development, to find out what's wrong with me so that I could actually find out, ooh, I'm gifted. So who here doesn't fit into mainstream? And you realize as you did personal development, you're like, whoa, I'm actually gifted. I'm gifted in a lot of things here. There's gifts I have. There's things I meant to share. I don't know if it's lagging. Are you guys good? Can you still hear me? Let me know. Comments went closed, but we're going deep here. So one of the stories that I struggled with a lot, some of you have heard this story, but one of the things that really was always my excuse as to why, like, because here's the thing, even as a little kid, I felt like I was meant to do something big in the world, but I felt stupid. And I felt like I was not good enough because one of the stories that I had forever that really shaped my identity, that was like the sole cause of why I didn't go for big things and why I settled in so many relationships, is I had to forgive the education system. I had to forgive the school system. Like, first of all, it obviously did not help when you are a first generation immigrant and you're thrown into grade one and you can't speak English. So that just already like you're behind. And that just does not feel good to be behind. And they're like, okay, something's wrong with me. And then that didn't help. And then I felt a lot of anxiety that I was different. But then also, and so if you're into human design, like later on, I found I was a Manny Gen. But for a while, I was like, my brain's not like most people because I'm listening to the teacher and then I'm like, ooh, I have an idea. Ooh, sacral hit. I couldn't focus for long periods of time. But you know what's interesting is I never thought I had ADD. No one ever told me that. But I had this feeling of like, I just don't focus like people. I see people sitting there and working on a project for like hours. And I'm like, how? Or they're like doing an assignment sitting there. I do 10 minutes and I'm like, daydreaming in my mind, right? And I've never ever, by the way, taken any sort of medication or pill for anything like ADD or anything like that. But it's funny, later on I heard people talking about their ADD. I'm like, that sounds like me, but I used to think this was kind of a gift that I could think multiple things at the same time. And then in 2019, I found I was a manager and with an open head and open mind, I'm like, ah, makes sense. But it's a gift. Anyone know why comets stop working during lives? Yeah, I don't know, but now I can see them again. So it's okay. It's okay. We'll catch them later. Maybe it's just lagging a little bit. Maybe the energy's intense. If I ever hop, like it turns off, because that happens too, I come back. Okay. I always come back and we figure it out. So for me, like I also didn't get things in school fast. So like, I'm an immigrant, and then people be like, learn a math thing, and I'm like, math. I could not get math. Like I still can't get math. Mathing is not me. I don't math the math. So it's like, no matter how much I even studied in school, like having an open head and an open mind, like I couldn't remember. I always forgot things. I have a daughter that struggles like this too. And I'm like, you're gifted. You'll see. You'll see. But no matter how much I tried to study, my math wasn't mathing, and my lack of understanding things quickly, like some kids, made me feel like I was so weird and different. Like my brain was broken. I couldn't memorize things. And then, what's hard is that, and this happens to all of us in different things that we struggle with, then it's reinforced by parents and teachers and people like, well, you should study harder. And it's like, on me a lot. Study harder. Teachers, where's your mind? It's like, so it's hard too when you're different and then you have grown adults and teachers and your parents reinforcing things that like, okay, maybe there's something wrong with you, or study harder. And you're like, there's something wrong. And you start thinking you're inadequate. And I actually thought that for a long time. And this story I carried for a long time, and it was part of my identity. Me, always different. Yeah. And I actually got through university. I don't know how. I got shingles from the constant trying to stress and remember everything I studied. But I'm like, what is school? I'm like memorizing things. I'm not learning. I learned more in self-development and mentoring than I ever did in all of my years of school, by the way. Did not even use my degree. Although call makes kind of sense now. Entrepreneur with a psych degree. Yeah. But I don't even remember anything from university. I don't know how I got through. But I got shingles at age 25 from the stress. But this is my point. You guys have different stories. I'm sharing mine to really help you see, because a lot of us, like, we're not going for big things because it's like, oh, well, I've always been stupid. I didn't do well in school. My parents even told me that. My teachers told me that. Oh, like, I'm not pretty enough. I'm lazy. I'm this. I'm too intense. I'm too much of this. And these are the stories that we create these identities from. And these are the things that hold us back. And for me, like the biggest one was like, I carried a story. I wasn't enough. I wasn't smart enough. I was different. There's something wrong with my brain. But then I love the quote, and I talked about this yesterday, my computer shaking. But then I found this quote one day and I was like, oh my God, it's the quote by, I think it's Albert Einstein, but it's like, everyone's a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will grow up thinking it's stupid its whole life. I was like, oh my God, right? And I showed like a little quote yesterday about this because I was like, you have elephants and monkeys and fishes and sharks, and it's like the school system's like everybody does this one test, and if you don't pass, you are stupid and never going to be successful in the rest of your life. But everyone's a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will grow up thinking it's stupid its whole life. This is most people in the world. But the thing is, actually, we have gifts. We have gifts. I was different. School, I love actually learning. I learn every single day. Like, are you kidding me? I have not stopped learning something in a mastermind, a program, a book, a podcast for the last like 8 years straight. I love learning. I just didn't like learning the things school was teaching me in the way that they were assessing me. And then when people start making you feel bad about it, how much do you really want to study? I didn't want to go to school most of the time, right? But it's funny because like I am so wise and I can remember speeches by incredible visionaries and quotes, but I couldn't remember the date of 1963 and whatever president, blah blah blah. Like why? My brain just does not want to memorize that stuff. But I know things and I'm really wise now. And so here's what happens. We go through some things that make us feel like we're not enough, we're not smart enough, we're lazy, we're too intense, we're too fast paced, right? Mine was struggling not enough. And so one of the callings that we have before we even realize we have a calling to help other people is we go on a quest to go find out what's wrong with me. And then you find your superpowers in life. And then you start playing to win and you start playing a collaborative game. Because on my quest to go find out what is wrong with me, okay? What is wrong with me? I discovered personal power, energetics, law of attraction, emotional intelligence, frequency work, and it changed my freaking life. Then I started understanding like frequency on a deep level and leadership, and I learned how to communicate, and my life changed again. And then I really understood things that most people just don't get. Like I understand frequency. I understand when someone speaks. I can pick up people's emotions. I can unblock someone at hyperspeed and understand people's behaviors and why they do things and what needs to unblock them in a way that most people can't comprehend. I've had doctors and lawyer clients and they don't get it, but I can see it for them and then I explain to them and they get it. I get it. And I realized on my quest to find out what's wrong with me, I found my freaking superpowers. I found my freaking gifts. I unlocked gifts going on a quest to find out why am I different? Why is my brain different? Why do I not do what mainstream people do? And then I found superpowers. Like, think about why you also landed in self-development. Did you also go on a quest like, what's wrong with me? And then you started learning things that people didn't get that you got, and you realized, I have gifts. I have a superpower. Did you find that out? Let me know in the comments. Like, I'm good at reading people's energy. I see what people are get stuck. I can help people shift at hyperspeed, shift identity. I can rewire their mind. I can guide them, lead them. Like the downloads I get, like blow my own mind sometimes. I'm like, thank you, God, use me. Like I untangle belief systems. I see things that people can't see. That's my superpower. And so when I look back at everything, yeah, it was a lot of bumping into life, a lot of feeling of unfairness. And then I realized, but it led me on a quest to go find my superpowers. And now my story gets to help you guys to see how it all works. Life is always happening for us. So did you go on a quest? Because you're like, what's wrong with me? And then you have gifts you didn't know. And now you're ready to share them with the world. This is what I want to help you do. I unlock gifts. And so then the next piece of this calling journey is like, I've unlocked superpowers. I know things people don't. I get things people don't get. And why was I given this gift? Because I meant to share it. And so that's what I started to do when I started learning like the subconscious mind and energetics and frequency and identity work. And like I started sharing it with online, then people started like finding me and were called to learn from me. And when I overcame my villains and my monsters, I'm not good enough. I'm this. I doubt all of that, overthinking. I rewrote my stories. I saw that it all forged me. And I continued to work on my emotional intelligence, my subconscious mind, my communication, my leadership. Like I found what I was good at. And this is my calling that I want to tell the whole world. How many of you, when you got into personal development and you learned like gratitude and feminine energetics, you're like, I need to tell the world, like someone put me on a roof, I'm telling the world. And you were so friggin' excited. And now you're like, I am here to play to win. and I'm playing a collaborative game with the world. My brain is not like most people. Yes, this is what I talk about all the time. We're working with parents of ADHD kids, right? It's a superpower. It is a superpower. There's a reason so many of them have it. They're gifted. And this is why we got to go first to show them you're not meant to do mainstream stuff. You're meant to do something different. And that's great because we need a world of everybody doing different things. We're all a puzzle piece. We're all a beautiful puzzle piece in this game of life. And the more we work together and we share our gifts, oh, you know that, I know this, I know that. We we uncover things. I discovered how to work with my imagining, create unimaginable things. I love it. Yes, when I lost my hair, I found out I am great at manifesting things. I imagine my vibrant vitality. Yes, and Daria like manifested the thickest hair naturally. You guys should give her a follow if you struggle with that. See what I mean? Pain to purpose. So everything happens for us. And we just got to put down the heavy stuff and rewrite it that it forged me. It put me on a quest to find out why am I different? And then you discovered superpowers. And now you're like, I got this life and I'm going to play to win and let's see what else we're capable of. And I want to help walk with you. And I want to teach you everything I know because this is the saddest part in life is most people are sold on comfort. They're brainwashed by the media. They're still asleep to their magic. And then they play small because they also fear projections, being misunderstood. They're still holding on identities that were projected upon them when they were little. And they're afraid to take risks. But because what if it doesn't hurt? And what if I get hurt? So they play not to lose or they don't play at all and they numb out. And we don't want to do that in this life. And the more of us rise, despite all our odds, the more we're going to help people rise. I rise, you rise, we rise. And so, like, let's play to win. Let's go see what we're capable of. Like, and let's be the kind of people that don't just play for ourselves. Let's leave something beautiful behind for our families, for our kids. Let's make a mark, even if it's just for our family. Who cares if we love more than most people do? Who cares if we care about the world more than other people do? And what if we fail more than other people are willing to? At least we'll get to the end of our life and know at least we play to win no matter what. And we didn't just play and dip our toes in. And people will remember the impact you made, even if it's one person, because you shared your story about what you overcame. And this is what's so important too, no matter what age you're at. I think it was Jackie who's in here that's 70, but I'm here loud on purpose. Yes. But here's the other thing is no matter what age you're at, the truth is at any moment we get to reinvent ourselves. And when we go first and we show people how we reinvent ourselves, we call the world to rise and we shift the collective. Imagine every single person watching this today decided today I am reinventing myself. I'm going all in. I'm going to go see what I'm capable of. I'm going to listen to Alina. You can even binge. I have so much free stuff you can binge on my YouTube channel, on my high performance coaching community. But let's reinvent ourselves because we had to do it at any age. I talked about this a few days ago, but one of the mindsets that is so sad that keeps people stuck is people think that their life is over when they're 30, they're 40, they're 50, they're 60. But there are stories of people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s where they become famous and make impact and they create art and they write movies. There's all these people, but we don't hear enough of those stories. Why? Because of the mindset, it's too late. It is never too late, ever. We're actually coded to grow and evolve for the rest of our life. And the moment we stop growing and reinventing ourselves, we start to die. And then we start numbing out and sabotaging our own life because we need things to work on. We need to be growing and evolving. And one of the greatest ways that you can reinvent yourself is if you decide, I'm going to play a collaborative game. I'm going to overcome myself, become the greatest asset that anyone could pay me for anything. And then money impact is the byproduct of the person you become. And you work on your skills and you work on your emotional intelligence. Everything you want is going to be based on your leadership. And here's the most incredible thing though. What took me years, I get to teach you in weeks, days, months. This is the thing. There are cheat codes in the game of life. I like to call them calibration portals. But when people have accomplished something that's never been done, we get to calibrate to their cheat codes. We get to calibrate to their weight, to their frequency, to their beliefs. Cheat codes are what mentors and trailblazers and role models are. They figured something out to do something in a different way, and then they teach people. their knowledge, their wisdom, their codes, and then they shift at hyperspeed. That's how we collapse time. You can do this on your own. You can grow your business, but you can do it in 2 months and go faster and have someone in your back pocket. Do you know how amazing it is to have someone who believes in you? It's like I actually say that if you just talk to a tree and you had a soundboard of a tree, you change your life because we don't also talk to ourselves and contemplate ourselves. But imagine someone spoke back to you that had a lot of wisdom, what that would do for you. Sky's not even limit. 62. I rise, you rise. Yes. We go first. Like another great thing to go into, like I'm going to sell to you. I am. The Lead Yourself First course is an intensive. It's going to be a 3-day, 4-day course. Starts next week. I'm going to sell it till Monday for $111, or you can come in the We Go First membership and get $12,000 worth of programs and courses you get to keep. No commitment. It's $111. You just pay as you go, and I create new things every month. But the Lead Yourself First course is included in that, so you can do that through that way. But they will go up to 333 on Monday, or you can do the Coach Academy with me, and we get to spend 2 months together. Leadership, growing your business, your power, how to guide people, how to create programs, how to create master, all of it. But another great place is the We Go First membership. Even if you did a month, you know how much you would learn. I have courses in there on law of attraction, energetics, discipline, collapsing time, prosperity codes, like all the things. Like the leadership course is going to be out of this world. Because seriously, you will never be able to lead a person until you can lead yourself. Ever. And there's nothing more valuable than being a leader in your life because your kids also look up to you. But imagine you become the kind of person who you get paid to learn and become the greatest version of yourself and help other people self-actualize, and you get to do it in your way, location freedom. Like, come spend 2 months with me in Coach Academy. It will be so freaking amazing. If you're already in the Coach Academy program, jump into this mastermind. It's going to be out of this world. And if you have a passion and gift to teaching people, like, let's go. The time is now. The world is in dire need of like healers, guides, activators, speakers. Like, stop playing not to lose. Let's come play to win. The brave ones are the people that people follow, but you got to go first. And like the Leading Yourself intensive next week, like, oh, I'm excited. This is brand new, and it's like leadership at a level you've never heard. But we are going to talk leadership. I'm going to give you some codes tomorrow as well. But let's play to win. Like, and we're going to move into emotional intelligence tomorrow as well. But if you think about it, you got to overcome your villains and your monsters. Because if you say you're stuck, because here's the thing, there's like 2 to 3 external circumstances where I would say you're right. Like you are really stuck. And it's things like war, or you're like a prisoner somewhere. And there are people in the world, there are women in the world that can't even get access to a computer. So look how much freedom we have. When you say you don't have money, you can be resourceful. I had 82K of debt. I've had so many mentors that were either bankrupt or were homeless or had $200,000 K, and they just went all in and played all in. Like when you're doing God's work, God's going to provide for you, but you do have to be self-led because you can't vibrate on the frequency of truth until you're the proof of concept. And I want to help you in the Lead Yourself First intensive that starts next week, like the art of like understanding what it means to be a leader and how to lead yourself, how to navigate the hardest things, how to grow your capacity, communication. It's like going to be amazing. But there aren't that many things holding you back. Unless you're literally in war or a prisoner, it's you. You're your worst enemy. You really are. The overthinking, the procrastination, the I'm not enough. This is why if you do the identity work piece that we did before and you rewrite your story and you see it forged me. And now I'm on a quest to see, why am I different? Why did people put so much hard pressure on me? But 99% of it, why you say you can't do what you want to do and go full tilt in your calling, is it's your own inner villains. This is what I hear people on a daily. Like it's the self-doubt, scarcity, lack, not feeling enough, shame, worry, fear, laziness, anxiety, lack of focus, negative emotions from people in the past, not letting go of resentment from the past, limiting beliefs, hard upbringings, feeling not good enough, feeling dumb, feeling not seen, feeling guilty for overworking, perfectionism, comparison, feeling it's too late, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm not educated enough, I need validation, not confident, not enough followers, lack, scarcity, fear, self-hate, procrastination, fear of debt, fear of expectations, projections, judgment, doubt, inconsistency, fear of holding everything, fear of responsibility, I'm too tired, I'm too much, I'm this, I'm that. Like it's you. You're your greatest villain, but you're also the hero of your life. And you get to rewrite all of that. And I do human design, and it's kind of mind-boggling how many people that are like have the leadership line, like the 6 lines, the 5 lines, like manifestors, manage. Like there are some people who have these codes, and it's like, yeah, you did get pushed a lot when you were little because people felt you're a leader and you're capable of it, and you got a lot of punishment, a lot of projections because people can feel you're strong. Your parents even felt you were strong. That's why they try to tame you, or they punished you or gave you a lot of responsibility, or maybe you even got physical abuse because you were a leader and you were born for this. And that's what leadership is. Leadership is literally like half the world's going to hate you and half the world's going to love you, and people are going to put you on a pedestal and burn you on the stake and all in the same day. You still want the big dreams? Yeah, you do, because you're meant for this. You're born for this. Stop playing small. And our greatest work for all of us is to constantly work on what else are we capable of, to evolve, to grow. Like when people ask me, how did you build this? I had to overcome myself and I had to take radical responsibility. I created my mess. I got myself out of this mess. But I overcame myself first. How did you attract the clients, Alina? I overcame myself first. I led me first. I didn't wait for people to validate me, to applaud me. I did it. And if you want to help people and this is your calling, you got to overcome yourself. You got to rewrite, you got to let things go that are heavy, that are creating density in your body, that are weighing you down. And you got to rewrite your story and shift your identity, because it's going to lead you on a path of like, I'm different because I have different gifts that I was meant to uncover, and I had to be forged with hard things because I asked for big things, and big things come with big responsibility and more people, more money comes with more projections. That's why you got forged even when you were little. People knew you could handle it, and you can still handle it. You just been playing small and hiding, and let's like let that shit go. Let's rewire things. Let's shift. Oh, well, I was riding, yelling in my helmet. Yes, I'm different and I found my gifts. Hell yes. Me, I'm in. I talk to trees, me on the daily. Yes. Like you were forged, pain to purpose. Everything happens for us. And do this homework tonight, because I want to go into a really powerful conversation about leadership and emotional intelligence and capacity and responsibility. We're going to go deeper into this. But your first piece of homework, whether it's just to change your own life, or you're born to lead, you're born to guide, you got to overcome yourself. You got to let go of the heavy things. You got to cry, tap it out. You got to see, rewrite it all. I was forged because I had a hard childhood, because I had this, because it was unfair, because school was hard for me. I found my gifts. I learned resilience, courage, strength, capacity, compassion, and I opened my heart up more. You rewrite your story, you shift your identity. You're being forged for your calling. And you got to be kind of people that believe in potentiality more than who you have been. The sad part is that we live in a society that doesn't believe in potentiality. People don't believe in miracles. All they believe in is evidence. Evidence. But that's just who we have been. But what are we capable of? Don't be like most people. You know, when they say dead fish go with the flow, don't be a dead fish. Wake up. Go upstream. Go the other way. Be the trailblazer, the visionary, the rebel, the mischief, the dreamer. Like, let's go. Let's play to win. Let's play full out. Let's go see what we're capable of. The abuse made me stronger. It did. And it helped you personal power. Let it go. Love it. Yes, all of it. Do you see now how it forged you? This is what I mean about rewriting your story. Because if you keep the identity of God just hated me and it was unfair and my parents didn't love me and God didn't give me a good brain, then you will always walk through life. I'm not good enough. I'm not meant for anything. I wasn't gifted. And then that is a very sad life. But God made us all equal, but different. Of course we have to be different. You know what I look at in school too? Like in every class there is an athlete, an artist, there is the entrepreneur, there is the leader, there is the visionary, there is the guide, and they're different for a reason. But if we were all the same, what are we doing in this life? We need people. We're all different puzzle pieces. So, this is going to be your homework before tomorrow. You're going to let go of heavy things and you cry, you tap, you can write a forgiveness letter as well. And you're going to see, like, I have a calling for something big. And I had a really hard upbringing. But I see now, you write it, that it forged me. And now I'm stronger, more resilient, more powerful. And I have capacity and more compassion. And I'm opening my heart and I'm more intuitive. And so I'm going to go even deeper on a path into self-development so I can go and cover what the heck my gifts are because I am different and I'm different for a reason. And if you're attracted to my work, I can guarantee it, you're here to be a visionary, a trailblazer, a dreamer, an artist, do something unconventional. And it's crazy because one day, the stuff we talk about that people are like eyes glaze over in the mainstream are like, how did they know? Because we're like avant-garde, we're before our time. So let's blaze new paths for the new generation. Just even do it for your kids or your nieces. Be that role model. And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. And continue to share this video. And if you feel like people need to hear this masterclass, tag them. I'm so grateful. And we're going to do an awesome draw on Monday. Some of you are going to win a whole free spot in the leadership. Someone's going to win a whole membership spot in the We Go First membership and 80% off, 50% off. But if you know I need to be in this leadership intensive, reach out. It's $111 until it goes up to 333 on Monday. I'll do it after the draw, but you'll have like, let's move. But otherwise, you can also get in the We Go First membership. And it is awesome. If anyone's in the We Go First membership, they'll let you know. There's already tons of things you can work on. And there's no year commitment. You can come and sample. I have people that sample and then they jump into private coaching as well. This is me sharing my magic. And I'm going to share some more magic with you guys tomorrow. So thank you, everybody who is here. I love you. You're amazing. I can't wait for tomorrow's call. So I'm going to be live at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be in my high performance coaching community. So make sure you're in there. And if you can't make a live, it's okay. There will be replays and then you'll have the whole weekend to watch. And then we'll do the draw on Monday and I'll put it in the event section and I'll send an email out as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love this. Michelle, I love this. Thank you so much. These words ignite me. Very inspiring. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I'm so happy. All right, tomorrow, personal power, emotional intelligence, leadership, test capacity, some fun things. This is going to be awesome. I love you. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I will see you guys tomorrow.